Today's question is it better to get a manual awning or a motorized awning? And the answer, of course, is it depends. Every home is different, every family is different. But to give you a little perspective, let's go back in time over 2 decades that I've been in this business. And when I was young in the industry, I sold a lot more manual awnings than I do today. Still sold more motorized. It's about a 2/3 motorized, 1/3 manual ratio. But something happened after about 6 months. I still like to keep in touch with my clients. And after 6 months, I was calling my new awning customers and saying, hey, how are you loving your awning? And everyone loved their awning. It is such a fantastic product. People just go on and on about it. But I noticed a difference. The people who had the manual awning said, oh, Shem, we love our awning. We use it several times a month. The people who had a motorized awning said, Shem, we love our awning. We use it several times a week. Some people said every day. The reason for that is these arms are very strong. You can see I'm standing under my awning here. These arms are very, very strong. They want to be out. When you have a manual awning, you have to turn a gear and you have to crank it a lot in order to retract that awning. It's a 7-to-1 gear ratio. So you have to crank it 7 times for the fabric to roll 1 complete revolution. So that you might be retracting or cranking it 70 times to bring an awning in. If it's that hard to bring it in, you're less likely to send it out in the first place. Whereas with the remote control, you just hit a button, the awning deploys. You hit a button, the awning retracts. So it's so much easier to use it. And I use the cost per use logic in order to justify the motor. And that second year, we sold probably, I'm sure, 90 or 95% motorized just by applying that logic. Today, it's even much higher than that because in addition to the cost per use logic and the ease of use logic, the cost for a motor has also come way down. And the cost for, those gears are high quality, powerful gears that are suitable for outdoor use for decades. They're not free. So the cost difference between a gear and a motor is in some cases only a few $100s. So almost everyone goes for the manual awning or the motorized awning today. But let's talk about when you would use a manual awning. That would be if you just can't get power out to where the awning needs to be. We've had people who had a separate structure that didn't have power to it, like a gazebo or something like that, and they wanted to attach an awning. There was no power. They really didn't want to spend thousands of dollars for an electrician to bring power out to their awning, so they did a manual in that case. Well, I think in the coming years, we're going to see even that use case go away because now we have powerful, rechargeable motors. They still cost a little bit more, and they're still not suitable for the biggest awnings, but we can now do a motorized, retractable awning without direct power, just because they're rechargeable, and then you can have a solar panel that attaches to above the awning that trickle charges the battery. How cool is that? So the answer to your question about what's better, a manual or a motorized awning, it just depends on the situation. It's something that we need to discuss. And I think you'll find in most cases, I'll just say that the feedback we've gotten from hundreds and hundreds of customers over the last few years is that they love their motorized awnings. People still love their manual awnings, but they just don't use them as much. Hope that helps.